fifth graders. Today I'm going to be going over with you how to do decimal division. So decimal division, I would recommend using the standard division method, not partial products. It's much easier to determine where the decimal is going to go in the final answer with standard division versus partial products. So your first step is to do the division problem like completely normal. Then you can add the decimal in at the end. I'm going to show you how to do that today. All right, ready to Gizmo to get started? All right, let's get started. All right, so the first question I have is on your activity number 5 for this week, and it's 5 going into 5.44. So start just like normal, standard division. 5 is going to go into 5 one time. 5 times 1 is 5. Now I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 5 is 0. Now remember I said ignore the decimal, pretend it's not there. So drag down the 4. Well, because you drag down the 4 and you realize 5 can't go into 4, you have to add a 0. Now, drag in another 4. So 5 can go into 44. Well, the closest number is going to be 5 times 8, which is 40. So 5 times 8 is 40. Now subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So I've got 4 down here. 5 cannot go into 4. So now I'm getting into the little parts of the division problem. I have to keep adding zeros to get a more accurate answer. So add a 0, drop it down. 5 can go into 40. 8 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40. I subtract. I get 0. I am done with my answer, but remember you can't forget that final step. What's that final step, Stitch? Yes, add the decimal. We cannot forget to add the decimal. All right, oh, you want to do it? Watch us add the decimal. It is an extremely easy step. Take this decimal, oh, he wants to do it, and drag it up. And then glue it in your problem. So the answer to this one was 1.088. All right, let's try another one. All right, this is another question right from your activity sheet. It's 8 going into 18.6. So remember I said my first step, divide standard division like normal. So 8's going to go into 18 2 times. It means I did it into the entire 18, not just this one. I put the 2 over the 8. 2 times 8 is 16. I subtract, and I'm going to get 2. 8 cannot go into 2, so you have to drop down to 6. And I have to ask myself, how many times can 8 go into 26? And my answer is going to be 3. 8 times 3 is 24. And I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 times 2 minus 2 is 0. So I got a 2. 2 is super, super small. So we need to add a 0 here and drag it down to get a more accurate answer. 8 can go into 20. 2 times. 8 times 2 is 16. I subtract. And I'm going to borrow from that 2, making it a 1. 10 minus 6 is 4. Now I can do 8 going into 4. Can't do that. I need a more accurate number, so I'm going to add that 0, drag it on down. 8 can go into 40 evenly. 5 times. 8 times 5 is 40. I'm running out of room, but if I subtract, I will get 0. I have this huge number here, so I need to do the final step. I have to drag up the decimal. So drag it up, glue it here. Your final answer is 2.325. All right, my final one is going to be the hardest one to do. It is the last question in your activity sheet, and it involves multiplying with 17s. So I'm going to leave two multiples of 17 up here, just because I think it's going to kind of help you out. All right, so this is the final one in your activity sheet. It's 17 going into 10.54. So divide like normal using standard division. 17 cannot go into 1. 17 cannot go into 10. 17 can go into 105. Remember, I'm ignoring this decimal. So if I look up here at the cheat sheet I gave you, 17 times 6 is 102. So I'm going to put the 6 above the 5 because I'm putting it into this entire number here. So 17 times 6 is 102. I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. 10 minus 10 is 0. I cannot put 17 into 3, so I'm going to drag down this 4. And for your convenience, I've already got the multiplication up here. 17 times 2 is 34. 34 is even right here, so take 17 times 2 is 34. Subtract, you get 0. You're done here, but you cannot forget to drag up your decimal. So take, oh, Stitch wants to do it. Go ahead, Stitch. Take your decimal, drag it up. So your final answer for this one should be 0.62. Basically, when you're doing division of decimals with a whole number in front, divide using standard division, find your final answer, and just drag up your decimal. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, guys.